My beloved child, I know there are moments in the quiet of the night when you look at yourself and see only the broken pieces, wondering why you were made with such fragility and sensitivity in a world that often demands hardness. You have spent so much time standing before the mirror of your own mind, criticizing parts of yourself that you did not choose, wishing you could edit the very essence of who you are to fit a mold that was never designed for you. But I am here to tell you that what you perceive as a flaw is actually the specific brushstroke of a master artist who does not make mistakes. For I have been with you since before you took your first breath, crafting every detail with infinite intention. You often feel a heavy burden in your chest, a silent whisper telling you that you are somehow wrong, that your personality is too quiet or too loud, that your body does not align with the images you see scrolling past your eyes every day. This internal battle has exhausted your spirit, draining the joy from your days as you constantly measure your worth against a standard that changes with the wind, leaving you feeling perpetually inadequate and unseen. I want you to put down that heavy measuring stick today and listen to my voice. For I see you not as a project that needs to be fixed or a problem to be solved, but as a breathtaking creation that I delighted in making, exactly as you are, without the need for alteration or apology. There is a weariness in your soul that comes from trying to hide your true self, masking the unique quirks and features I gave you because you fear that if people really saw you, they would turn away or find you lacking. You have walked through valleys of self-doubt where the shadows whisper that you were an accident or an afterthought, causing you to shrink back and dim the radiant light that I placed inside you for a specific purpose. But I invite you to step out of those shadows now, for I did not create you to hide in the background of your own life, nor did I form you to live in the constant fear of rejection, but rather to stand tall in the dignity of being my child. I hear the thoughts you think when you are alone, the harsh words you speak over your own reflection, and it grieves my heart to see you treat my masterpiece with such unkindness and lack of mercy. You would never speak to a friend or a stranger with the cruelty you use against yourself, yet you carry this internal judge with you everywhere you go, allowing it to steal your peace and rob you of the confidence that is your birthright. It is time to silence that accuser, for those critical thoughts do not come from me, and they do not reflect the reality of how I see you when I look upon you with eyes full of unconditional love and absolute approval. Perhaps you have felt that your sensitivity is a weakness, a defect that makes you too vulnerable to the pain of this world, and you have wished for a thicker skin or a harder heart just to survive the storms. But I tell you now that your ability to feel deeply is not a defect but a divine design, a capacity for empathy and compassion that is rare and precious in my sight. I created you to feel, to connect, and to understand the hearts of others, and your tenderness is a strength that can heal wounds and bring light into darkness, if only you would stop seeing it as something to be ashamed of or hidden away. You compare your journey, your appearance, and your gifts to those around you, thinking that if you could just be more like them, you would finally feel happy, accepted, and at peace with who you are. This constant comparison is a thief that steals the gratitude from your heart, blinding you to the specific beauty and unique path that I have laid out for you alone. There is no one else in all of creation who has your specific blend of laughter, tears, experiences, and potential. And to wish to be anyone else is to deny the world the gift of your true self, which I formed with such great care and excitement. I know there are scars you carry, both visible and invisible, marks left by life and by the words of others that have cut deep into your sense of self-worth. You look at these scars and see ugliness, evidence of damage that makes you less valuable than those who seem perfect and untouched by the trials of life. But where you see damage, I see a story of resilience, a testimony of survival, and a beauty that transcends the superficial perfection the world chases after. For nothing you have been through has diminished your value in my eyes, and your scars are merely evidence that you have lived and that I have sustained you. Recently, you have noticed a shift occurring within your spirit, a subtle turning away from the noise and the constant need for validation that used to drive so many of your decisions. This is not you giving up or falling behind, but rather a sign that you are awakening to a deeper truth, recognizing that the shallow praise of the crowd can never satisfy the deep hunger of your soul. You are beginning to crave peace more than you crave attention, preferring a quiet moment of authentic connection over 1,000 empty compliments. And this is the first beautiful step toward embracing the identity I have always held secure for you. You find yourself becoming more aware of the things that drain your energy, realizing that trying to maintain an image of perfection is a heavy costume that you are no longer willing to wear. There is a growing desire within you to simply be, to let down the walls and allow your true nature to breathe, without the constriction of trying to please everyone around you. This new awareness is a gift from my spirit, gently guiding you away from the exhaustion of performance and leading you toward the rest that comes from accepting that you are enough, right here and right now, without achieving one more thing. You are drawn more to healing than to hiding, feeling a pull to address the wounds of the past rather than covering them up with distractions or busy work. This courage to face your pain is a sign of your growth, a testament to the strength I have placed within you to overcome the lies that have held you captive for so long. You are realizing that true beauty comes from a heart that is whole and free, and you are starting to prioritize your inner well-being over the external appearances that the world places so much importance on, which brings a smile to my face. There is a softness entering your heart, a gentleness toward others that is beginning to reflect back onto yourself, as you realize that everyone is fighting a hard battle and deserves grace. This expanding compassion is evidence that you are being conformed to my image, learning to see with eyes of love rather than judgment. As you extend mercy to others, you are finding it slightly easier to extend mercy to yourself, understanding that you too are deserving of kindness, patience, and the time it takes to grow into the person you are becoming. You have started to feel a disconnect when you engage in the old habits of comparison, sensing a check in your spirit that tells you this path only leads to misery and emptiness. This discomfort is a protection I have placed around your heart, a warning signal to alert you when you are drifting away from the truth of your unique design. It is a sign that your soul is rejecting the poison of envy and is hungry for the nourishment of gratitude, longing to celebrate your own blessings rather than coveting what I have given to another. The things that used to define your worth, your achievements, your looks, your social standing, are beginning to lose their grip on you, leaving you wondering who you are without these external labels. This uncertainty is actually a holy space, a clearing of the ground so that you can build your identity on the solid rock of my love, rather than the shifting sands of public opinion. You are learning that your value is not found in what you do or how you look, but in whose you are. And this revelation is slowly taking root in the fertile soil of your heart. You are finding moments where you just want to sit in silence, to escape the constant bombardment of images and voices that tell you who you should be, and instead listen for a quieter, truer voice. In these moments of stillness, you are beginning to hear my whisper, reassuring you that you are loved, that you are held, and that there is nothing you need to prove. This drawing toward the quiet is your soul's way of seeking its creator, instinctively knowing that in my presence is the only place where you will find the affirmation that truly matters and the rest your spirit craves. Even in your struggles, you are noticing a resilience that surprises you, an ability to get back up after a fall that you did not know you possessed. This strength is not of your own making, but is my power made perfect in your weakness, sustaining you when you feel like you cannot take another step. You are realizing that you are stronger than you thought, not because you are perfect, but because you are never alone, and this growing confidence is helping you to face your insecurities with a new sense of hope and courage. You are beginning to question the standards of beauty and success that society has imposed upon you, realizing that they are arbitrary and often cruel, designed to make you feel less than so you will buy more. This awakening is freeing your mind from the prison of consumerism and comparison, allowing you to define beauty for yourself in a way that includes kindness, wisdom, and the light of the soul. You are starting to see that true radiance shines from the inside out and cannot be manufactured or bought, but only cultivated through a relationship with me. There is a longing in your heart to be known fully, to share your true thoughts and feelings without the filter of fear, and this desire for authenticity is a sign of your spiritual maturity. You are tired of the superficial interactions that leave you feeling lonely even in a crowd, and you are seeking deep, meaningful connections where you can be your real self. This is a beautiful sign that you are ready to embrace the fearfully and wonderfully made creation that you are, trusting that the right people will love you for who you truly are, not for who you pretend to be. I see the way you struggle with your reflection, how you stand before the mirror and dissect your appearance, focusing on every curve or line that you wish you could change. This body insecurity is a heavy chain that drags you down, making you feel as though your worth is tied to the size of your waist or the clarity of your skin. But I want you to know that your body is the temple of my spirit, a vessel chosen specifically for you to journey through this life, and it deserves your honor and gratitude, not your disdain and criticism. You feel the pressure to edit yourself, to curate your life and your personality to make it palpable for others, fearing that if you showed your messy, unpolished reality, you would be rejected. This constant editing is exhausting, leaving you feeling like a fractured version of yourself, always calculating the right thing to say or the right way to act. I see the anxiety this causes, the fear that tightens your chest when you think you have said something wrong or awkward, and I long to take that burden from you and let you rest in the freedom of just being you. Shame is a shadow that follows you, whispering that you are not enough, that you have failed to meet the expectations of your family, your culture, or even what you think are my expectations. This shame makes you want to hide, to withdraw from relationships and from opportunities, because you feel like an imposter who will eventually be found out. But shame is a liar that I have already defeated, and it has no right to dictate your future or define your identity. For you are covered by my grace, which washes away every stain and failure. You find it difficult to receive compliments, often deflecting them or assuming the person is just being nice, because deep down you do not believe you possess the good qualities they see. When someone praises you, you immediately counter it in your mind with a list of your faults, unable to let the kindness land and nourish your soul. This inability to receive love is a barrier I want to dismantle, so that you can soak in the affection and affirmation that I send to you through the voices of those who love you. Comparison is a constant struggle for you, a habit of looking at someone else's highlight reel and feeling like your behind-the-scenes reality is a failure. You see their apparent success, beauty, or happiness, and wonder why your life feels so messy and difficult by comparison. This envy robs you of the joy of your own journey, blinding you to the blessings I have poured out specifically for you. And I invite you to turn your eyes back to your own path, trusting that I am writing a beautiful story for your life that is unlike anyone else. There are days when you wish you could trade places with someone else, anyone else, just to escape the feeling of being uncomfortable in your own skin. You fantasize about having a different face, a different talent, or a different history, believing that a change in circumstances or appearance would solve the ache in your heart. But I tell you that even if you had everything you envy in others, you would still be you, and the peace you seek can only be found by making friends with the person I created you to be. You struggle with the belief that your differences are defects, that because you do not think or feel like the majority, there is something fundamentally broken within your wiring. You have spent years trying to fix these perceived flaws, not realizing that they are actually features of your design, intentional choices I made to equip you for your specific purpose. To reject your uniqueness is to reject the gift I have given you, and I long for you to see your distinctiveness as a badge of honor rather than a mark of shame. You hide your true emotions, bottling up your tears and your fears because you don't want to be a burden or be seen as weak. You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, smiling when you want to cry, and helping others while you are drowning inside. I see every tear you have swallowed and every silent plea for help, and I want you to know that your vulnerability is safe with me, and it is safe to let others in, for you were not created to carry heavy loads alone. The exhaustion of trying to keep up with the demands of modern life has left you feeling depleted, as if you are running on a treadmill that never stops. You feel the pressure to be productive, beautiful, successful, and happy all at once, and when you fall short, you blame yourself for not trying hard enough. But this race is not one I called you to run. I called you to walk with me in the cool of the day, to find rest for your soul, and to trust that my timing is perfect and my yoke is easy. You have let the number on a scale or the size of your clothes determine the kind of day you will have, giving inanimate objects power over your mood and your self-worth. This fixation on the physical prevents you from seeing the radiance of your spirit and the beauty of your character, which are the things that truly last. I want to free you from the tyranny of numbers and measurements, helping you to see yourself through the lens of eternity, where your value is immeasurable and your worth is fixed. You often feel misunderstood, like you are speaking a different language than those around you, and this isolation breeds a loneliness that aches in your chest. You wonder if anyone will ever truly get you, if there is a place where you truly belong without having to explain or justify your existence. I am here to tell you that I understand you perfectly, for I know the very thoughts you think before you speak them, and in my presence, you are fully known and fully loved, completely at home. You swing between feeling like you are too much, too emotional, too needy, too intense, and feeling like you are not enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not talented enough. This pendulum of insecurity keeps you off balance, never allowing you to settle into a place of confident peace. But to me, you are neither too much nor too little. You are just right, a perfect balance of the qualities I intended for you, and I delight in the fullness of your personality. The internal monologue you live with is often harsh and unforgiving, a constant commentary that points out every mistake and magnifies every shortcoming. You replay your awkward moments and your failures on a loop, torturing yourself with regrets about things you cannot change. I want to replace that critical voice with my voice of grace, teaching you to speak to yourself with the same compassion and gentleness that I use when I speak to you. You carry wounds of rejection from the past, times when you were left out, chosen last, or walked away from, and these memories haunt your present relationships. You keep your heart guarded, afraid to trust fully because you expect that eventually, everyone will leave or find someone better. But I will never leave you nor forsake you. My love is the one constant in a changing world, a secure foundation upon which you can build your life without fear of abandonment. There is a fear of being seen fully, a terror that if the light shone too brightly on your hidden corners, you would be exposed as a fraud or a failure. This fear keeps you living in the twilight, never fully stepping into the potential I have placed within you. But my light is not a harsh spotlight of interrogation, but a warm glow of healing. And when I look at you, I do not search for flaws to punish, but for the beauty I placed there to nurture. You feel a disconnect between your heart and your body, often treating your physical form as an adversary rather than a partner in your life's journey. You ignore its signals for rest, you deprive it of nourishment, or you push it beyond its limits, all in an attempt to force it into submission. But I created your body to be the home of your spirit, a sacred vessel to be treated with honor and care, and I invite you to make peace with it today. You seek validation in the wrong places, looking to social media, achievements, or the opinions of others to tell you that you matter. When the likes don't come or the praise is silent, you feel your worth plummet, leaving you empty and craving more. But this hunger can only be satisfied by my love, for I am the only one who can define your value, and I have already declared you priceless by the sacrifice I made for you. The lonely nights of self-doubt are known to me, the times when you lie awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if your life has meaning or if you are just taking up space. You question your purpose and feel like you are drifting without a compass, lost in a vast ocean of uncertainty. But even in the dark, I am holding your hand, and even when you cannot see the shore, I am guiding your ship, for I have a plan for you that is full of hope and a future. You carry the heavy burden of perfectionism, the belief that if you do everything right, you can avoid pain and criticism. This standard is impossible to meet and only leads to anxiety and burnout, robbing you of the joy of being a messy, growing human. I do not ask for perfection. I ask for your heart, your trust, and your willingness to walk with me, embracing the grace that covers every imperfection. But now, my child, I want you to pause and take a deep breath, for we are moving from the shadows of these struggles into the light of my truth. You have listened to the lies of the enemy and the world for too long, and it is time to tune your ear to the frequency of heaven. Let the old narratives of unworthiness fall away like dead leaves, and prepare your heart to receive the revelation of who you truly are in my eyes. Know this deep in your spirit. You are not mass-produced in a factory of souls. You were knit together with intimate attention and infinite patience in the secret place. My hands formed your inward parts, weaving together your DNA, your personality, and your destiny into a tapestry that is unique in all of history. There is no randomness in your design, no accidents in your composition. Everything about you was intentional, chosen by me to reflect a specific aspect of my glory that no one else can display. When I say you are fearfully made, I mean that you are created with reverence, with a holy awe that demands respect and honor. It means your existence is not trivial but momentous, a sacred creation that should make you tremble with the realization of how much thought went into your making. You are a mystery and a marvel, complex and beautiful, And to treat yourself with anything less than high regard is to dishonor the craftsmanship of your Creator. When I say you are wonderfully made, I mean that you are distinct, set apart, and filled with wonders that are meant to be discovered and celebrated. You are not a copy of someone else. You are an original masterpiece, signed by the author of life. Your quirks, your laughter, the way your mind works, these are all part of the wonder of you, designed to bring joy to me and to the world around you. Your value is inherent. It is woven into the very fabric of your being and cannot be added to or subtracted from by anything you do or fail to do. You do not need to earn my love, and you do not need to prove your worth to the world. You simply need to exist and receive the dignity that I have bestowed upon you. You are valuable because you are mine, because you bear my image, and that is a status that no one can ever take away from you. I am the God of the universe, the creator of the stars and the oceans, and I do not make junk. I do not make mistakes. When I look at you, I do not see a defect. I see a delight, a beloved child in whom I am well pleased. If I, who am perfect in wisdom and judgment, declare you to be good, who are you to disagree? Every feature you possess, from the color of your eyes to the texture of your hair, was chosen by love to create the unique work of art that is you. I painted you with the colors of my grace and sculpted you with the hands of my mercy, ensuring that you would be a perfect reflection of my heart. Stop criticizing the artwork and start praising the artist who poured his heart into your creation. Think of yourself as a living cathedral, a sanctuary where my spirit dwells, built with precious stones and intricate designs. You would not walk into a holy temple and begin smashing the windows or spray painting the walls because they didn't look like the building next door. Treat yourself with the same reverence, recognizing that you are holy ground, a dwelling place of the Most High. Dignity is your birthright, a crown that I placed upon your head the moment I thought of you, and it is time for you to wear it with your head held high. You are royalty, a child of the King, and you are not meant to grovel for scraps of affection or approval from a world that does not know your true value. Walk in the confidence of your royal identity, knowing that you belong to a kingdom that is unshakable. You must stop negotiating your worth with the world. Stop asking people to tell you if you are good enough, for the verdict has already been handed down from the throne of grace. You are worthy. When you stop looking for external validation, you will find an internal anchor that holds you steady through every storm. Your confidence will grow when you realize that your dignity is not up for debate. I invite you to see yourself through my eyes, eyes that filter out the flaws you focus on and magnify the beauty that I see clearly. I see the kindness in your heart, the resilience in your spirit, the love you have to give, and the potential that is waiting to unfold. If you could see yourself as I see you for just one moment, you would never criticize yourself again. The world focuses on the outward appearance, on the packaging and the presentation, but I look at the heart, the eternal core of who you are. Your physical body is beautiful, yes, but it is your spirit, your capacity to love, to hope, to forgive, that truly captivates me. Focus on cultivating the beauty of your inner self, for that is a radiance that never fades and only grows brighter with time. There is a purpose in your design, a specific reason why you were made exactly the way you are, with your specific blend of strengths and weaknesses. Even the things you struggle with can be used for my glory, as they teach you reliance on me and give you empathy for others who struggle. Nothing in your life is wasted, and every part of your story is being woven into a greater narrative of redemption and grace. You are a vessel of light in a dark world, created to shine with the brilliance of my love in places that are desperate for hope. Do not hide your light under a basket of insecurity or fear. Let it shine boldly, for the world needs the specific flavor of light that only you can bring. You are essential, a necessary part of my plan, and without you, the picture would be incomplete. I am bringing healing to your self-image, gently mending the cracks in your mirror so that you can see yourself clearly again. As you spend time in my presence, the distorted lies will fade away, replaced by the crisp, clear truth of your identity as my beloved. Allow my truth to wash over your mind like water, cleansing away the dirt of shame and revealing the diamond underneath. Acceptance is the key to peace, accepting that you are who you are, that your body is your body, and that your story is your story. When you stop fighting against your own design, you release a tremendous amount of energy that can be used for joy, creativity, and love. Embrace the reflection you see, not because it is perfect by the world's standards, but because it is the face of one whom I love deeply. Know this, I take pride in you. I look at you with the beaming smile of a father who is overjoyed with his child. You do not have to achieve anything to make me proud. Your very existence is a song of praise to me. Rest in the knowledge that you are enjoyed, cherished, and celebrated in the courts of heaven. Now, as you go forward, I ask you to treat yourself with honor in one practical way today, to do something that says, I value this creation of God. It could be speaking a kind word to yourself, resting when you are tired, or nourishing your body with good food. Whatever it is, let it be an act of worship and gratitude for the life I have given you. Thank me for one thing your body or mind can do, shifting your focus from what you lack to the incredible capabilities you possess. Maybe it is the ability to see a sunset, to hear music, to hug a loved one, or to solve a problem. Whatever it is, let gratitude rise up in your heart. This simple shift will begin to rewire your mind, to see the abundance of blessing that is already yours. I encourage you to limit one comparison trigger this week. If there is a social media account, a magazine, or a situation that always makes you feel less than, step away from it. Protect your heart and your eyes from the inputs that steal your joy, and instead fill your mind with things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, and admirable. Guard the gates of your soul, for out of it flows the spring of life. Be gentle with the inner child within you, that part of you that is still vulnerable and afraid. Speak to that part with the soothing tone of a loving parent. When you make a mistake, instead of scolding yourself, offer reassurance. It is okay, we are learning, we are safe. This self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It is the practical application of my grace in your daily life. Breathe in my grace and breathe out your shame. Visualize my love filling your lungs and your bloodstream, displacing the toxicity of self-hatred. Let every breath be a reminder that you are sustained by me, that you are kept by me, and that you are loved by me. You are safe here, safe to be imperfect, safe to be human, safe to be you. I promise you my presence. I will walk with you through the process of unlearning the lies and relearning the truth of your beauty. You do not have to do this work alone. I am the gardener of your soul, and I will prune the weeds of insecurity and water the seeds of confidence. Trust me to complete the good work I have begun in you. I invite you to rest in this truth, to stop striving and struggling to prove your worth, and to simply settle into the hammock of my love. Let go of the tension in your shoulders and the worry in your brow, and let the reality of being fearfully and wonderfully made support you. You are enough simply because you exist. If this message has touched your heart, I invite you to stay connected here, to subscribe and join this family of souls who are learning to see themselves through my eyes. This is not a command, but a gentle invitation to walk together in truth, to be reminded again and again of how deeply you are loved. We are on a journey of healing, and there is a place for you here. I bless you now with peace that passes understanding, a peace that guards your heart and your mind against the arrows of criticism and comparison. May you walk through your days with a quiet confidence, knowing that the God of the universe knows your name and adores your spirit. Let this peace be a shield around you. I affirm my love for you, a love that is higher than the mountains and deeper than the oceans, a love that never gives up on you. You are my treasure, my delight, my handiwork, and I will always be for you, never against you. Receive this love, drink it in, and let it overflow into every area of your life. This is my seal upon your heart. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, a unique expression of the divine, a beloved child of God. Let no voice, internal or external, ever convince you otherwise again. You are marked by my love, signed by my hand, and held in my eternal embrace. Go now in the strength of this knowledge, walking with your head held high and your heart open to the beauty of your own design. You are not a mistake, you are a miracle. Be at peace, my child, and live in the wonderful light of who I created you to be.